Hey friends, Tuxx here. I've been getting some questions this afternoon about the Microsoft Keynote, and of course this is in regards to E3. So this is like a bonus video. This is not a normal video. This will count for the giveaway, so you can say enter me, get your name in the hat for another chance to win. But for those of you who are not interested in video games, you can probably fast forward through this video. But for those of you who are curious about my take on E3 and Microsoft, here's my quick notes, okay? First off, I have to say that I like the way the One X looks, okay? It looks pretty cool. You know, I am a little concerned about the size of it. It is smaller form factor than any other Xbox is what they're saying. And that was originally the problem with the 360, is that it was smaller, you know, and it had gel. It was supposedly it was liquid cooled, but it was really like a gel. And that caused a lot of overheating, red ring of death, all that bad stuff that happened, you know. And that was partially because of the ventilation issues, the size, and just the way the cooling wasn't right, you know. So hopefully this small system doesn't have a similar problem. I cannot imagine Microsoft would have another problem with red ring of death or anything similar to consoles overheating and dying after they lost, what, like $1 billion on refixing, like sending out refurbished units and fixing units of broken ones for people and stuff. It was a big deal. They got like 3 years of extra warranty if you had a launch box, and it was a lot of money for Microsoft, so I sincerely doubt they'd make that mistake again. Now, as far as the current system goes, I think there's gonna be some confusion, guys. Like the name, I kind of wish they would have kept Scorpio, and I can kind of see how maybe they wouldn't have wanted to keep the Scorpio name, just because, you know, if you're a parent buying a system for kids, you know, buying your child something called Scorpio kind of could be bad. I mean, if you think of like scorpions or something, maybe that would be a turnoff to some people, or maybe like people who don't like scorpions for whatever reason wouldn't like it. I don't know, but they didn't. They chose the name X, okay, and it was pointed out that apparently that goes along with the Tesla cars, which are named S, X, and the next one is called 10. That's just a little bit weird, you know. I kind of think it was purposely done because this holiday they're probably going to sell out, you know, and even with the price being $4.99, which is high, by the way, guys. I know people can say, do you like the price? I mean, I think it'd be better at $3.99, but there is some good. Okay, here's the good and the bad. Okay, if it is $4.99, which it has been said to be, unless something changes, okay, that's going to hurt scalpers a little bit. So maybe scalpers won't buy as many of them, and maybe people can actually, like, actual consumers can buy them, because if they scalp them online for $4.99 and they go for like $5.99, by the time you take out the PayPal fee, the eBay fee, and everything, there's not going to be that much profit. You know, I don't see these selling for, you know, buying them for $500 and selling them for like $700. The most you're probably gonna be able to get on might be $600 or something, you know, maybe $650. But by the time you take out the fees, you're only gonna profit about $80 to $100, and that's not that much for the effort you have to put into it. So I kind of think this might be a way of deterring scalpers. So that is a good thing. The bad thing is the fact that a lot of people just can't afford $500, you know. So, you know, that's gonna be a problem for some people. They say no one's left behind. Sure, you can buy the old system, you know, and that's good and everything. But of course, the kids are gonna want the latest and greatest. And there'll be kids say like, nah, you didn't get the Xbox X or whatever, you're poor, you have the S or whatever. And that leads me to the other problem too, is this holiday season, when parents are in the store, you know, buying their Xboxes, if they're like, I want to buy an Xbox, and the clerk's like, well, which one? You know, they're gonna be like, oh, I don't know. And they'll be like, well, here's two. We have the S for this cheap price and the X for $500. Of course, a lot of parents will probably buy the cheap one, and then on Christmas Day when the kids open it up, they'll be like, wah, wah, wah. They'll be like disappointed because they didn't get the X, they got the S. The names are just too similar. So I really wish they would have went with Scorpio or just something different. I don't hate the name X. It's kind of cool, I have to admit, but just because it's so close to X and S, I see a lot of room for problems, and I see a lot of parents buying the wrong console. Now again, maybe that's exactly what Microsoft wanted. That is very possible. And finally, the big win for me, the most exciting thing besides the games, obviously they look great. I'm not gonna go into the games right now. They all look awesome. You know, I don't know how great they'll be. Like sometimes during these keynotes, they'll show cool new games, and by the time you get them, they turn out to be something that's not quite as cool, you know? Like, I did like Viva Piana, and I liked Cameo and the original Xbox 360 games, but, you know, those games haven't really had big sequels or anything. They didn't continue to be like huge franchises or anything, despite being new IP. So I don't know if these new games they're showing will actually take off in a way that they want them to. You know, of course, Forza will do really well, but a lot of the games they showed were kind of like new games, you know, so besides like Crackdown and a couple of them, and I could talk about that on its own. I don't know how good that game's going to be. It looks cool, but it's been in development like a really long time and has had problems, I hear. So I don't know. They didn't show a whole lot of that game. They spent like 5 minutes on it. They spent like 30 minutes on the next game, you know, so it's kind of weird that they didn't spend more time on such a huge, you know, Halo level IP Crackdown, which they promote as being a huge game for them, but they only spend a little bit of time, and it comes out in like what, November, like just a few months down the road, you know. I think they'd have something more to show, but I could be wrong, you know, could be. But anyway, the big take home for me, the most exciting part of this whole Microsoft thing was the fact they announced that they're going to let you backwards compatible original Xbox games, you know? And even though I probably won't play these games like all the time because the graphics aren't 4K awesome, you know, it's kind of cool to be able to play them. I like that, you know, so I like that there's now some value to these. So if you're a smart collector, I would go on eBay and buy some Xbox One games. You might as well, you know, I mean, if you're going to play on your new Xbox system, maybe with even better graphics or something, you know, at least a little bit perhaps, you know, it's worth checking out, you know, and you can get these really cheap on eBay. Oftentimes it's like 10 for 20 bucks or something, or, you know, it's cheap. You can check it out yourself. You know, there's different lots. The price will probably go up because they're backwards compatible now, but that's good that they're actually giving people a way of playing these older games on a newer system. And like Planet Gotham Racing 2, awesome game. Halo 2, that's the best Halo in my opinion. The original Forza, I had more fun with that Forza than any other Forza. And the new ones do look better, sure, but this one had a certain magic about actually being able to make your own cars and stuff. So anyway, guys, that's my take on the whole thing. I love the Microsoft keynote. It was very slick. It was smooth. No big hangups. You know, they had a few like less than top tier executives talking, and they weren't quite as good. Like, I think there was a few vloggers or something, I don't remember the names of them even, but they seemed like they were not quite as rehearsed maybe. But all in all, great keynote, great job Microsoft. If anyone from Microsoft watches this, A+ job, guys. Awesome. The only take homes would be the price, kind of high, the name, kind of confusing. All right, friends, thanks for watching this video. Be sure and say enter me for a chance to win in my next giveaway. More information about that real soon. We'll talk to you soon, friends. Bye-bye.